Is your child struggling with a specific subject or need help with homework? Are they asking questions that you're not sure you can fully answer? IXL Learning is an online learning program for kids. It covers math, language arts, science, and social studies. IXL is designed. This program will improve your kids' grades. Studies done in almost every state in the country. The kids who had IXL are consistently doing better. Powered by advanced algorithms, IXL gives the right help to each kid no matter the age or personality. And it doesn't have to eat up all your time. One subscription gets you everything for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. So don't miss out. 1 in 4 students in the U.S. are learning with IXL. IXL is used in 95 of the top 100 school districts in the U.S. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/audio. Visit IXL.com/audio to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
Look, boys and girls.
It's wild, it's wacky, it's slick, it's savvy, it's the madcap, daffy, fracture, ding-a-ling, ring-a-ding, loony, zany, side-splitting, rib-tickling, slap-happy, scuzzy, dreary, irksome, tedious, banal, pointless, smutty world of
The Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Let's be real. I'm all about being real. Well, I mean, I'm real all the time.
Dynamic, isn't it?
Jeff Lutz.
Let's be real.
We like him.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. I'm Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz co-hosting, Max Power. Producing, engineering, 869-1240 is the IHOP hotline. Cardinals today lose. They draw 9 walks, add in 6 hits. Leave 11 on base, hit into 3 double plays, and get shut out.
Not great.
First time ever with that many walks that a Cardinals team has been shut out.
Really? First time ever. That's crazy.
9 walks.
Yeah.
You go into a game saying we're going to walk 9, how many runs you planning to give up?
4 at least.
Double digits.
No.
If a team's any good.
I don't know if they should score 10, but they should score 1.
ESPN, as it is prone to do in these summer months, likes to run lists. They did the 100 greatest athletes of the 21st century. Today they're out with a list of the 25 greatest football players of the 21st century. And I've asked Jeff to weigh in on who might be in the top 10. And
I want. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a list of 25, and I have 24 right now. And we're going to go down the list and see how many
You've already looked.
No, I have not.
You're on your phone.
I'm looking at something else.
I don't know what you're looking at. I hope you haven't cheated.
I have not cheated.
All right. Let's go.
But I need one more, and that's going to be that person right there.
Give me someone on your list.
All right, Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey, someone you believe is a top 25 player of this century.
Yes.
Champ Bailey. I'm through number 17, and I'm now through number 20, and I just got to number 23, and now we're at 25, and there is no Champ Bailey.
Well, that's a terrible list because he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. And that's stupid. And that's a bad list.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. First 5 out. Well, was he on the first 5 out?
Are you sure he's not on the list?
He was not.
You sure?
I'm
well,
100% positive.
It's a really stupid list then. How about Rondé Barber?
Rondé Barber. What are you starting with? Why don't you knock out some of the obvious ones?
I'm just going down the list.
You're terrible. You're looking terrible here. Rondé Barber's not on the list.
Another first ballot. Okay. I mean, it's a bad list, and that's fine. No Rondé Barber.
No.
Tom Brady.
Now yeah.
I'm just going down my list.
Number 1.
Peyton Manning.
Yes. Number 4, I believe.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, number 9.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. That's you would think Ed Reed for sure.
You would think.
I'll need a moment.
Best player I've ever seen, and I don't even know that much about.
Best player you've ever seen.
And I don't even know that much about football. But yeah, he's the best player I've ever seen.
Ed Reed is number 11.
Well, too low. Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis is number 8.
I don't like that pick. So I'm not going to say that one yet.
Say it.
I don't think he played much in this century, but Will Shields?
Will Shields not on the list.
He's not.
No.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. What do you think he is?
He should be in the top 10.
Number 2.
Okay. Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, guest here. Adrian Peterson is he here? He's number 18.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, mentioned by Jeff, amongst the top 25 players of this century. ESPN ranks him number 14.
Again, a guy I don't know how much of his contributions. This guy probably won't be on the list, but he did some in the 21st century. So Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk, no.
He's not on it?
No.
He should be. Dwight Freeney.
Dwight Freeney is not on the list.
Well, this list is stupid. You'll tell me who I missed when we... Darrelle Revis.
Darrelle Revis, Revis Island, you're putting out there.
Yes.
Darrelle Revis, I know I saw his name, number 10.
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas is not on this list. When are you done?
You sure?
Yes.
I thought I saw him when you were scrolling by earlier.
Don't be looking.
Calvin Johnson.
Don't be looking over here.
Calvin Johnson. I already have my list.
Joe Thomas, by the way, 23.
Thank you.
So that's a cheating.
No, I have my list. I haven't changed my list.
Who was your latest?
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson is on the list.
I would hope.
Number 6.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson is on the list. Number 12.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez. Did he play enough in this century?
I think so.
Are you sure?
Well, he was in the Super Bowl
Are you sure?
7 years ago.
Tony Gonzalez, number 24.
This is a couple here a few actually. This is going to get dicey. Randy Moss.
Randy Moss?
Yeah, he was played in the early 2000s. He had that huge year with New England in 07.
Randy Moss is number 5.
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens. Oh, now you're getting dicey.
A little bit.
Now you're reaching. Terrell Owens is number not on the list.
Stupid.
Let
Derek.
me make sure about that. You're looking at the list.
I have my list. I am not changing my list. I'm seeing how my list did shortly prepared. But I want to see how my list did against the list of ESPN.
Next.
Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks was down the list, but he did make it at number 25.
Really? Zach Thomas?
You already said him.
No, I didn't.
You said Joe Thomas.
I did.
Zach Thomas, not on the list.
Steve Hutchinson?
Not on the list.
So just no offensive lineman?
Those two aren't on the list.
Troy Polamalu.
Number 16. Did you see it?
No, I wrote
How many
down.
more you got?
That's my last one. This is 25. I've missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is on. Oh, Marshall Faulk was on the list.
Thank you.
My bad. At number 21. Drew Brees is number 15. Do you want to know who you missed?
Yes,
now?
but I want to tell you who I missed.
No, I don't want you to say a word.
I missed Terrell Owens, Steve Hutchinson, Champ Bailey, Rondé Barber, Will Shields, and Dwight Freeney.
All right, you missed number 3, Aaron Donald.
That was stupid. I didn't get to look as much at current players, but that was a bad omission.
You missed number 7, J.J. Watt.
Okay.
You missed number 13, Rob Gronkowski.
That's a bad one.
You missed number 16, Troy Polamalu.
I just said him.
Oh. You missed number 17, Brett Favre.
Really? 21st century?
You missed number 19, Michael Strahan.
Thought about him, but again, I thought a lot of his damage was done in the 90s.
You missed number 20, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, that's a bad omission.
You missed number 22, Warren Sapp.
Nah. I like Champ Bailey more than I like Warren Sapp.
Those are the ones you missed. Those who just missed out, according to this list, Jonathan Ogden, Larry Fitzgerald, Orlando Pace, Marvin Harrison, and Terrell Owens.
Well, there you go. A lot of
That's a pretty good group of
those guys are all first ballot Hall of Famers, 26 through 30, but didn't play their entire careers in this century. But Jonathan
Larry
Ogden,
Fitzgerald did.
yeah, well, he should probably be on the list. So should Jonathan Ogden. And to have no Champ Bailey is just insane.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Just insane.
It's not my list.
I need to hear from a Broncos fan or a Washington football team fan who feels the same way I do about
They have
Champ
a name now, the
Champ
Commanders.
Bailey. They do.
Not the Washington football team anymore.
It should be.
Really, over Commanders?
Commanders is kind of boring. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about the Guardians, but I like the Guardians.
Guardians is fine.
It's an okay name.
It's not like the Cardinals.
It's almost exactly like the
Well,
Cardinals.
but the Cardinals has such an unbelievable history.
And yeah, there was some foresight calling your team the Cardinals instead of after a race of people, which is going to ultimately
I love the Cardinals.
not work out well
I
for
still love the Cardinals. But you know who I've gained an appreciation for?
you. The Reds.
The Royals.
Oh God. I mean, I get
Because
why.
I've gotten to know some of their people.
I get why. I
They've supported
understand.
League 42 in a big way. I'm going to Kansas City to be a guest speaker at one of their. I don't know what. I have to get more information. But in the middle of August, I'm going to Kansas
Is
City.
a Royals event?
Yeah, to talk about youth baseball and organizations and.
Wow.
Thank you. Is that sincere?
I mean, I feel that way, but it's just I don't.
Is that sincere?
It's a sincere feeling. It wasn't a sincere expression.
But you feel it.
yeah,
What do you feel?
that's cool. That's exciting for you. Have a good time.
That's it?
No, that's what I say. I don't know.
They invited me to do that. So I think that's pretty impressive that they would do that. That they would think of me to be involved in this. What's the word I'm looking for?
Endeavor,
This
initiative.
yeah, something like that. This I can't think of the
Oh
word.
my God, I don't know what you're trying to
Not
say.
meeting. This
Luncheon, gathering.
this whatever. I don't know what to call it.
All right, I don't either.
But I'm going to look it up at the break and let you know.
Thank you.
Are you good with that?
That means a lot to me.
Let's take our break. Jim Callis joins us next. We'll talk MLB draft, prospects, much more with one of the most informed guys around baseball, Jim Callis. Stay with us.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
Is your child struggling with a specific subject or need help with homework? Are they asking questions that you're not sure you can fully answer? IXL Learning is an online learning program for kids. It covers math, language arts, science, and social studies. IXL is designed. This program will improve your kids' grades. Studies done in almost every state in the country. The kids who had IXL are consistently doing better. Powered by advanced algorithms, IXL gives the right help to each kid no matter the age or personality. And it doesn't have to eat up all your time. One subscription gets you everything for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. So don't miss out. 1 in 4 students in the U.S. are learning with IXL. IXL is used in 95 of the top 100 school districts in the U.S. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/audio. Visit IXL.com/audio to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
Jim Callis with us from MLB Pipeline, one of the world's foremost authorities on Major League Baseball, the draft, prospects. Jim, how are you?
I'm doing good. Has it really been 35 years since we were covering Shockers College World Series championship? that seems like a very long time
I was a young man then.
I was too.
You
I
were a
wasn't
baby.
even married. I didn't have. I have 4 kids who graduated from college now. Like I wasn't even. I hadn't even met my future wife then. So,
yeah. I wondered who that guy was in the crib covering the College World Series. Must have been you.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's talk about the recently completed Major League Baseball draft. Let's go to the Royals. They had another high pick, and they picked the slugger out of Florida. Tell us about him and his track to get to the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Jack Caglione, who they took out of the University of Florida, number 6 overall pick, might be the most famous guy in the draft. He's a two-way guy. I don't think he's going to two-way as a pro. He can hit 99, and he's got a pretty interesting changeup on the mound. He's just too valuable as a hitter. I think it's a lot. Shohei Ohtani makes two-way stuff look too easy. And it looks like Caglione might have been hurt at the College World Series his last pitching outing. He was throwing like 88 and came out after an inning. But he's probably the most famous guy in the draft because of the two-way exploits. I think he's the most physically imposing hitter in the draft. 6'5", 250, second in the nation with 35 homers this year. Led the nation with 33 homers last year. Pretty athletic for a guy as big as he is, and he can just obliterate balls. The one question with him, or the biggest question with him, and it's kind of an interesting one, is he chases a ton of pitches. I think his chase rate was something like 38%. He swings at pitches outside the zone. But I don't know, it's just because he's so big and he has such long arms and he covers the plate so well. His strikeout rate was only 8%. Now, I'm not a big data guy. I don't think you can find anyone in the big leagues who's got two numbers that extreme where they're chasing that many pitches but never strike out. And so he'll probably need to tighten the strike zone up a little bit. But it's a huge upside pick. I don't think the Royals thought he was going to get to them at 6. So I think that was a very pleasant discovery for them.
I wanted to ask you, Jim, about Emmanuel Rodriguez because he plays here in Wichita, and we thought he would be here in Wichita for a short time because he would get called up to AAA and then maybe even the big leagues, but he was here a short time because he's injured, hand, wrist injuries. So how much do you think that could hurt his development, if at all? He's so advanced as a hitter and such a good offensive player. What do you think he would have needed to work on for the duration of this year, and does it hamper his development at all?
Yeah, well, I think, and this is going to sound funny after what you just said, I think his biggest need, honestly, was to stay healthy and get a full season of at-bats. He's never had more than 354 at-bats in a season. He's never played 100 games in a minor league season. He's in his fourth year as a pro, and he's exciting. I mean, it's plus power. He does strike out, but he draws a ton of walks. He's a solid runner. He's a pretty good athlete. Like, I think, honestly, he's probably – I mean, I'm trying to look and see where we have him ranked on our top 100 prospects list. We have him ranked at 26, which is pretty high. But I actually think, like, the average fan doesn't know as much about this guy as they should just because he's been hurt so much. So, I honestly think at this point he's still young. He signed internationally. I think he's 20 years old, and ahead of the game for what level he's at. But he needs to stay healthy and get at bats. I mean, it's not as drastic, and I'm not saying his ceiling's as high as this guy, but it's kind of like Byron Buxton with the Twins. Like, Rodriguez is very, very exciting when he's on the field. He just, isn't on the field on a regular basis often enough.
Talking with Jim Callis from MLB Pipeline. Okay, I'm going to jump right to it. I want to know about your thoughts on J.J. Weatherholt. But before you get into that, we've seen Paul Skeens just take MLB by storm. He's been incredible. I texted my son yesterday that this guy might become the best ever. I don't know. He certainly has that kind of look and stuff. So of all the collegiate players who were taken this year, and the first 8 are college players, who's closest to the big leagues making an impact?
Closest to the big leagues making an impact is probably he might get slowed down a little bit just because of the team he's on. But I think Travis Bazzana is is the purest hitter in the draft, and those guys tend to move the quickest. That would be my pick. I think Charlie Condon's the best player in the draft, and the Rockies aren't as deep as the Guardians, so maybe he moves a little quicker than that. I mean, I do think a lot of these college guys, pretty much taken with the first, 7 picks especially, are all, advanced hitters or pitchers in the case of Hagen Smith and Chase Burns, that they're all going to move pretty quickly. I would put no one, and I know you weren't, Bob, I wouldn't put any of those guys in the class of Skeens because, again, I was dating myself right. when I came on and I was talking about covering the 1989 College World Series. I've been covering prospects for 36 years now, and the only 2 pitching prospects as good as Paul Skeens, the only 2 guys I'd put in that class are Mark Pryor and Steven Strasburg. And like Paul Skeens, they got to the big leagues almost immediately. And when they got to the big leagues, they were almost immediately as good as any pitcher in baseball. I mean, right now I'd take Paul Skeens over any pitcher in baseball if I had to win one game to save my life. So we won't necessarily see a guy impact like that. Like that's about a once-in-a-decade type of draft. But I do think these guys will move quick. And getting to Weatherholt, who went the pick after Caglione, and he went 7th to the Cardinals, it's the same thing. I don't think the Cardinals could have expected to get him. I actually think JJ got a little underrated this year. He came into the year, he was our top-ranked prospect in the draft coming into the year. Then he missed half the year. He got hurt his hamstring, which he had hamstring issues last year as well. Hurt it in the first series of the year and missed half the season. And so, a year ago, he led the nation in hitting. And I think had he been healthy for the full season, you saw the crazy numbers. This is probably the most offensive year I can remember in college baseball. He would have put up crazy numbers like Condon and Caglione and Bazzana and the rest of those guys too. Instead, he put up merely good numbers in half a season. I don't think there's a big difference between him and Travis Bazzana, who went number 1. And I like Bazzana. I think they're similar hitters. I think Bazzana's got a little more power. I think Weatherholt's got a little more athleticism to him and a chance to play shortstop. I don't know that he sticks there, but I think he's a better second baseman than Bazzana. So I think they're very comparable players. So I think the Cardinals got a guy who you could argue if he had been healthy this year, and he was not because of the hamstring, might have been the best player in the draft at number 7. So I think both the Royals and the Cardinals got players at 6 and 7 they couldn't necessarily have counted on getting and have to be thrilled that they got those guys.
So since Bob asked about the Cardinals, I'll ask about my team, the Cleveland Guardians. And, I know it's not all about performance, but we've seen guys that were sort of on the radar, sort of not. Angel Janau, Cooper Ingle, C.J. Kafis have these really good years, and a lot of their top, at least position player prospects, are having pretty good years. Does that change the look or the thoughts about what Cleveland's farm system is? And I guess the second part of that question is, do you think they're stocked enough to where if they make a couple trades to add at the deadline that they'll still be okay?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that their system has gotten a boost, and you cited some of the guys, Janau, Kafis, Cooper Ingle, who've had really nice years. Kafis and Ingle were two guys that drafted last year. Janau was signed internationally a couple of years ago. The interesting thing about their system is there's not a lot of pitching, though they're known for developing pitching. It's very hitter-heavy, the system is. I mean, part of that's because Daniel Espino, who's arguably the best pitching prospect in baseball before he got hurt, has been hurt. Now, I do think they're in position to make trades because, A, they do have those hitters, and B, I mean, they were in a position this year that nobody's ever been in before. They had the number one pick, and they had a bonus pool of when you count in the five, I think it was $18.5 million, which was a record. And they could probably, if you count the 5% overage you can spend over your bonus pool in the draft without losing picks, that gets them to $19.5 million. That doesn't even count round. They could probably spend $20 million on this draft, and they invested heavily after taking Bazana in several high school pitchers, starting with Braylon Doty in the supplemental first round. So they tried to address that pitching shortfall. But yeah, I think they could definitely. I don't know that they have a lot of pitchers teams are going to come after, but they could certainly, they have a number of position players they can trade, and they have the depth to hang on to, depth to give them up. And while they'd be missed, and you never love trading prospects, it's not like it would leave the cupboard bare.
Talking prospects with Jim Callis from MLB Pipeline. So it just feels to me, we got the trade deadline coming up next week. It feels to me like the Orioles kind of have to go all in. They have the best system in the game. I think everybody kind of agrees on that. Do you agree with me that they're going to make some things happen and try to bring in somebody that can they believe can put them over the top?
I don't know if they will. Mike Elias has done a really nice job building the organization up. He's also been very patient, or you could say conservative, in terms of making trades. When they got Corbin Burns in the offseason, they gave up Joey Ortiz and DL Hall, who were kind of good prospects, but not like the cream of Baltimore's crop. They were kind of blocked. I always thought Hall was more reliever than starter. They had a million infielders, so where was Ortiz going to play? So it was easy to kind of give those guys up. It wasn't like you were really going to feel that one. I do agree that they have depth. They have more players, and they have spots to play them. Yes, I agree that they should make a trade, and I agree that they have the prospects to make a blockbuster. Like if they want to go out and get Skubal, or if they want to go out and get Crochet, I think they could trump anybody's offer. Like they have the talent, they could trump anybody's offer. It's just, will Mike Elias pull the trigger? But they're getting to the point where guys are starting to get backed up as they get to AAA and trying to crack the big leagues. I don't think they'd trade Jackson Holiday. That would shock me. I don't think that would happen. But they've got Samuel Basayo, who's a catcher, and Kobe Mayo, who's a third baseman, who are two of the best prospects in baseball. But both of them might wind up being first baseman in the long run, regardless of having, Rutschman there and more infielders than you know what to do with. So maybe you trade one of them. They've gotten Colton Cowser and Heston Kjerstad to the big leagues, but they have a bunch of outfielders in the big leagues. It's hard to play them all. Maybe you could trade one of those guys, and then you package him with the third guy, and that's a pretty good start to getting a Skubal or a Crochet. So I agree with you, except I'm not. I think they should make a deal. I don't know that they will make a deal. We'll have to see.
Boy, Skubal, Burns, and Rodriguez, pretty dangerous in a postseason series.
I agree, and I wouldn't just give prospects away, and just because you have a backlog of prospects doesn't make them less valuable to you because you don't have a spot to play them. But I agree. I mean, I think you're kind of at the if you got a Crochet or Skubal, you'd also, it's unlike Burns, they aren't going to be a free agent at the end of the season. You'd have some control over them too. I'm with you. I'm not saying I would just blow all the prospects out and make 18 trades, but if I could find another guy who would be a formidable playoff pitcher, I would pull the trigger.
Well, good stuff. I really admire your work. I follow it very closely, as does Jeff. We are big baseball people, as you know, and thank you for coming on, Jim.
Oh, always good talking to you. It brings back fond memories of Rosenblatt Stadium every time I talk to you, Bob. So good chatting with you. Nope, that's the best. I agree. I got to get back to the College World Series. The problem is now with the draft combine, it's hard for me to go to the College World Series. I haven't been in like 5 years. I need to get back to Omaha.
Well, Omaha's great, but there'll never be a setting like Rosenblatt. It was just amazing.
I agree. Well, you guys take care, and we'll talk some more baseball again soon. Thank you. All
right,
Bye-bye.
Jim Callis from MLBpipeline.com, talking prospects. I could do that all day, and I know you could.
Interesting stuff.
869-1240. Nobody's texted or called to invite me anywhere.
Must not be a lot of goings on in the Wichita area.
You've got an invitation from your friend Shannon to go watch him and his band, The Band,
yes,
BANNED, perform at where?
Stearman
Airfield on Friday night. Saturday night.
Yeah.
We'll
probably do that.
They used to book real venues, and now they're playing airfields.
Stearman's a nice place.
How do you like that? That's me.
That's why you don't get invited to anything.
I love Stearman. Okay? Understand
Apparently
that.
not.
I did kind of wish I hadn't said that.
You denigrated Shannon, and you denigrated
I did,
Stearman.
and I regret it.
Unfortunate. Now do you wonder why you weren't invited?
I don't know. I think Shannon probably chuckled at that. But maybe not enough to actually extend an invitation.
He probably took it deeply personal.
I first met Shannon, I believe, when he played a bar in Derby called the Top Derby, something like that.
I don't know.
Way back.
Really?
Yeah, way back. At least 20 years. And I think probably more.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
He's an old man.
So that's my first crossing paths with Shannon.
I got you.
I don't remember if they brought me on stage that night or not.
I remember that they didn't.
What do you mean you remember that they did? You weren't
I wasn't there, but my memory is pretty clear on stuff like that. They did not.
Well, I don't know. I have a recollection. You know who did bring me on stage? Why do you get so...
Well, you did the same thing when I said I could play the drums with the band on one song. Probably not going to sing it, though.
Well, I sang it.
I know you think I already suck as a singer. I'm not that bad.
I don't think you're a terrible singer.
But when I'm playing drums, I'm not as...
I don't think you're a terrible singer. I just don't think you're as good as me.
Fine.
At least in my prime. I don't know if I'm in my prime anymore because I never have the opportunity.
Does it impress you that I can sing and drum at the same time?
A little bit.
Thank you.
But I used to go karaoke at least a couple times a month back in the day.
Thinking about...
you understand? Please listen to what I'm saying.
I am, and I'm responding to it in a way. We're thinking about David Michael Hahn and I kind of extending that Friday evening and maybe finding a karaoke spot. Or
what do you mean extending that Friday?
Because he's coming to the pump house.
Why?
Because he's part of the show.
Well, that's a very loose...
He's hosted multiple times, like 4 at least.
Well, so is...
the big fella, and is he not invited?
Well, I haven't done that yet. I need to invite him.
I think he should.
Is Duda for sure going?
I haven't asked him. I really don't care, to be honest, but I'll...
Why is that? Why are you turning against Duda?
I'm not really turning against Duda, but Duda seems like he's distancing himself from us in a way.
That's just the aura he gives off. That's that I'm a little bit too good for this.
But
that's just Duda.
I suppose.
He's down to earth. But when it comes right down to it, this radio show is just a small slice of his life.
Yeah, does
and he'll be glad to tell you that.
Of course he would.
To him, it doesn't matter.
Right.
To him, this radio show could go away tomorrow, and you know what? He wouldn't lose a minute of sleep.
Any sleep.
He honestly wouldn't.
I know. Would you?
Sure. I've been doing radio for a quarter century.
It's been a while. Can you believe I've been, quote unquote, doing radio on KFH for over 14 years?
What do you call doing radio?
Just saying with Jeff and Jamin. Started in 2011.
Did that count?
I was on the radio. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Let's ask the real radio people.
Well, there are people who have weekly shows on like KNSS and stuff, I assume. Are they not in radio or on the radio?
Listen, if the real radio people are willing to give that to you, I'll go with it.
Well, I've been doing daily radio for nearly 9 years.
Right.
Which is also a significant amount of time.
And you did production, although very loosely.
I didn't produce anything.
Yeah, I don't know why we called you the producer. All you did is answer a phone.
Yeah, I didn't produce a
not a thing you produced.
Nothing.
Never got a guest.
Never?
No. I mean, you never did anything. I kept wondering why in the world you and the commissioner were involved in that.
Well, there was not a nothing paycheck involved in that endeavor.
They paid you.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't believe.
And it wasn't nothing.
Well, there was a time when I got paid quite a bit to do radio.
Yeah, I didn't get paid quite a bit by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't get paid quite a bit now.
But as someone in their 20s, it mattered.
Maybe I'll... now you've got me into the idea where maybe I'll ask for a little bump.
Oh, well, if you ask for it, I get it too.
No, I don't think so.
I have the favored nations contract.
What would that conversation be like?
I don't know.
Because it would put Tony in a terrible
I've done
spot
it before.
if we both went in and said, Tony, I almost bet that he would say, well, we'll see what we can do. As we left, he'd say, Bob, can you stay? And he would say something like, man, I want to give you a raise, but I got to figure out how not to give Jeff one.
The last raise we got, I did that. You're welcome.
No, that was me.
No, it wasn't. You weren't on the show.
What do you mean I wasn't on the show?
That was the time you took your hiatus. And I said, Tony, if I'm going to do this every day, I'm going to need a bump. He said, all right.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You know why?
No.
Because he was fearful that I would not come back.
Well, good. I had some leverage then.
I've talked to Tony at length about a lot of these things.
Perfect.
If you
that
were
was good business then.
If you were to give Tony truth serum, he'd turn over this show to me.
Fine.
We might try that.
Well, good luck.
What is truth serum?
Never had it.
Truth serum I've ever had is
alcohol,
tequila.
Yeah.
You'll tell a lot of truth on tequila.
Get Tony drunk and safely, and see what he says.
I've spoken the word on tequila before. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I've given people the absolute truth.
You've made them uncomfortable?
No. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't do tequila and haven't for 3 decades.
Good decision.
Maybe longer than that. It doesn't hit me. It doesn't hit me well.
I got you. I can imagine.
But there was a time.
Yeah. Is the music playing?
No, the music's not playing.
Really? It's like 3:58.
No,
right
here's what Tony has told Max. Bob's on a roll. Don't play the music.
I think we're off the air, aren't we?
No, but Max is enjoying the hell out of this conversation.
Well, I'm trying to wrap it up.
Why are you trying to wrap it up?
Just don't want to get too deeply involved in anything and have to cut it off.
There's the music.
There you go. The aforementioned music.
Tomorrow, we have Jesse Newell from the Kansas City Star. We'll talk Chiefs. And we have Mark Blackham, the general manager of the Hutchinson Monarchs. They're the defending champions in the NBC World Series. We'll talk with Mark about his team. We look forward to it. We hope you're here. Have a good night.
Is your child struggling with a specific subject or need help with homework? Are they asking questions that you're not sure you can fully answer? IXL Learning is an online learning program for kids. It covers math, language arts, science, and social studies. IXL is designed. This program will improve your kids' grades. Studies done in almost every state in the country. The kids who had IXL are consistently doing better. Powered by advanced algorithms, IXL gives the right help to each kid no matter the age or personality. And it doesn't have to eat up all your time. One subscription gets you everything for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. So don't miss out. 1 in 4 students in the U.S. are learning with IXL. IXL is used in 95 of the top 100 school districts in the U.S. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/audio. Visit IXL.com/audio to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price.